Hello, welcome back. We are back on Hills of Slovenia, survival challenge, and I did basically what I said. So I have been and tidied up as many of the trees as possible to give us some money, and I have now started work down here on the new area. I've still got to do all of the landscaping and all of the actual tidying up and the prettifying of it. However, as you can see, pretty much the approach is going to be fruit and veg. For want of a better phrase, we have some vegetable gardens here on the left. We have a potato greenhouse in the middle, and then we have a couple of smaller greenhouses on the right hand side. Now obviously from up here you can see it slightly better. So the potato one in the middle actually creates bags of potatoes for actual sale. It is not a passive income generator. It literally converts manure and water and everything to potatoes. You have to provide it with seeds and everything. The others are all passive based income. So the vegetable gardens are passive, the actual greenhouses are passive, etc. I need to design this for all intents and purposes. It will be pretty much a case of time-lapsing most of it for you. However, the aim is to get this looking like an area that is in use. First port of call is going to be to tidy up. It's now time to set up that new area. So this is a nice cheap little tractor which I intend to basically keep down here for loading and unloading. Definitely glad I didn't go with bulk. Oh, what? I can refill from the pallets without having to lift them? Well, I never... Okay, fair enough. Well, that makes that a bit easier, but I thought it being an actual tipper I would actually have to load it, but never mind. It's not a big issue. As you can tell, we've already loaded some water into the container at the back. Yep, we can just refill straight from the pallets, okay. Right, well, while that reloads then, I'm going to move this to one side. The idea of this is this is going to stay down here. We pretty much are going to use this as a shop tool for loading and unloading. So it was a nice cheap one. It's not too much of a big deal. We just then chucked a front loader on it, so that's not too bad. How are we looking here? We're nearly full. Let's keep refilling this. So all of the greenhouses we built, they all function off the same main two resources, which is manure and water. Got some leftover manure down here. I don't want to buy any more water. I realised I'd started buying water to fill the tanker, and then I realised we actually have deliberately set up a water source and a tap down by the house. So we will make our way back to the farm, and then I'm going to be able to show you hopefully it's not quite a finished result yet. It's more of a semi-finished result, as the piece of land behind the greenhouses and the farmable area that we've got is not ours, so I can't quite set up the terrain exactly how I want it yet, because we don't own the correct pieces of land. So yeah, so effectively then now we should be roughly terrained and roughly aesthetically tidied up all the way. So we have got this left turn here. Just takes us down the dirt track. And this is the steep one, so if for whatever reason we can't use the steep one, I'm going to be linking these paths up, and there is the shallow, more wide one. Okay, so the potato place can indeed take manure, and judging by that, it takes a lot of manure. Yeah, so 8,000, so Jesus Christ, if 8,000 is 8%, that takes a huge amount of manure. Right, so we are going to need a significant level of manure to get all of this stuff running, if that was 8%. But okay, so we know how the manure works. We need bags and pallets of manure for the vegetable gardens on the right, not literally a truck full of manure. What we'll do is we'll take the water butt round. Come on. There it is. Refill that with water. As you can see now inside the greenhouse, there are potatoes growing. I don't know what kind of throughput and rate there will be on the potato greenhouse, but I guess we'll find out. Oops, that was close. Alright, so the taps do work. So this is good, so what we can do is we can actually refill from the tap. 12% manure and water, so we are actually getting potatoes. It's brilliant. Obviously we're extremely low on the inbound. We have a potato greenhouse. So we have to make a trip around all of them and see how many of them are actually going to accept water from the water butt. We'll figure it out. There'll be a loading point somewhere. Somewhere there'll be a load point basically, which is the trigger. It might be at the front actually. Brilliant. Okay. So you have to get really, really close. Really close. That's okay though, so we figured it out. So if that's all it is based off of proximity, then this is not too bad. Yeah, if all it is based off of proximity, this is fine. I can deal with this. I can't wait to flatten out the back end of this as well. This is the bit that I was on about, that we don't own the land. So we can't actually level it all off properly. Right, so again, while that loads then, we are pretty much ready to say goodbye for this episode. We have the next area, so up here we have a field. A field of wheat, which now, by the way, it now has germinated. So we are growing. It is official, we are growing. It is overall far enough into the season to start growing, which we'll be harvesting this summer. And then our alternative income approach now. So what we managed to do for the last few days, huge amounts were spent obviously on building and setting up the new area. We got all of the income pretty much from wood. And then the rest is wages, pallets and stuff like that. And then obviously the new vehicles. So we have obtained obviously the new trailer, the new storage, the new carrying capacity. We've done quite a lot as far as new vehicles. And then obviously there's the very specifically new fork handler at the shop that we're leaving there. So, whoops, I'm hoping actually these are also proximity based. So if they are, then this should be... Yeah, they are, perfect. So we still have the manure to do, but we just... So it's a very, very close proximity trigger. This is it, so we have vegetable gardens, which we will sort out manure for off camera. So we've got 2 vegetable gardens, we have a potato thing, which is actually producing potatoes already, look. And then we have a tomato greenhouse and a tomato greenhouse. I'm actually really pleased with that. I run back up to the high ground. That actually looks pretty good. We've got an alternative source of income now. Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with how that's turned out. So, apologies if this is not the kind of episode that most people would prefer, given that a lot of it was landscaping. It didn't make any sense to not fast forward it all, basically, and do time lapsing. I mean, there was a huge amount. I think it took a couple of hours or so to actually deal with the placement of the buildings, the construction and all that sort of side of it. So, but yes, thank you very much for joining. I do hope you enjoyed it, even though it is a slightly different episode than normal. And I hope to join you next time. We'll see what's next on the plans for the farm. We need to have a look around for another sort of area to develop and try and utilise. And I shall see you all next time. Thanks again.